It's just very hard. She forgot who I was. She forgot everything we'd done. She forgot how the family. She had a great-grandson and he was the apple of her eye as well, and she forgot him.
The Southwest, known for its stunning coastlines and outstanding natural beauty. But in this quieter corner of the country lays a worrying statistic. Over 81,000 people are living with dementia. With no medication to slow down dementia, added with a region with an ageing population, this figure is set to rise to 106,000 people by 2021. To put that into perspective, that's nearly the population of Exeter. But what even is dementia?
So dementia is this sort of illness that's a neurodegenerative disorder in older adults, and it's commoner as people get old, which is why it's emerging as such a problem. So in people over the age of 65, the four main types of dementia are Alzheimer's disease, vascular dementia, Lewy body dementia and frontotemporal dementia. But these are progressive neurodegenerative conditions that people will die from, so they're quite different from normal ageing.
Mum was always fun, always helping people out. She worked in a school for 25 years, so she was always popular with children would always come up in the street, even when they were grown up, their own kids, they would always stop and speak. I used to meet her every day, and if I couldn't meet her, we used to ring. But the grandchildren were the same. They used to stay there at the weekends, and yeah, we were a really tight-knit family.
Sue was taken to a doctor after suffering with confusion and memory loss. This is when Sue was diagnosed with both vascular dementia and Lewy body's dementia. Since that day, Sue's health deteriorated rapidly.
My neighbour phoned me on my mobile, and my neighbour phoned and said, "We found your mum, she's fallen." And what she'd done is she thought the carers were pinching her and knives and forks. So she had a huge bag. She emptied her drawer out, and obviously it must have been too heavy. And she fell, smashed her head on. Her face was black, broke the elbow. So the doctor came out and saw her and said she got to go straight to hospital. She was kept in overnight, and that's when she started to hallucinate. And she was jumping on the bed saying there was giant spiders, and unfortunately she got sectioned. Looking back now, I treated her. Sorry. I didn't mean to. I used to shout at her a lot because I didn't know. Like, just simple little things like dressing wrong. I was saying, "Mum, you've been dressing for how many years?" But looking back, if I knew what I know now, you would just go along with it. And if she said that was white and I would say, "No, it's not white, it's black," you don't do that. You go along with her. And I think that is what my biggest thing is, to prefer to get awareness out to people.
Alzheimer's disease accounts for up to 80% of all dementia diagnoses, and any person living with the disease has varying symptoms. I came down to meet Mr. Myers, who now at 81, was diagnosed with Alzheimer's 2 years ago.
She says positive, optimistic and kind. Oh, well,
Would you agree with that?
Well, she's done me proud. I was suffering from a variety of problems which brought about anxiety and paranoia. Then I went for tests as to whether I had Alzheimer's or forms of dementia.
You just look at the general structure of the brain, you look for any of these white matter changes going on in the brain. Here's all the structure, so you just look that it's all clear, that there's no obvious stroke or a little hole appearing in that.
Within the 2 years since you've been diagnosed, is there anything you've noticed has changed?
Technical things are very difficult for me. Things that people might seem simple. Emotional about things like the family and so forth.
But the 81-year-old has found his personal outlook has helped to ease some of his symptoms.
I have a good sense of humour. This is one that I think is absolutely vital if you have Alzheimer's. The worst thing to do, if I may say so, is to be in denial about this. You don't think about what's going to happen at the end.
Although finding ways to ease some of the symptoms of dementia can be helpful for the individual, finding a cure for Britain's leading cause of death remains complicated.
The difficulty is with Alzheimer's research and understanding the disease is that we can't access that brain tissue when people are alive. So it makes dementia research challenging. So it's unlike cancer research, for example, where tissue is actively cut out, sent away and analysed, and you get a clear result whether the cancer's cured or whether it comes back. We don't have those real outcome measures with neurodegenerative disorders. They're over a much longer timescale, and we can't see what brain changes are going on.
And while research into a cure is still ongoing, the need for effective and accessible treatments is crucial. Brain stimulation exercise like cognitive stimulation therapy has significant evidence for its effectiveness, and something Mr. Myers deems as invaluable.
This is one thing with all other arrangements that is definite as far as I'm concerned.
And that Cornwall-based cognitive stimulation therapy service is Turning the Cogs, where Mr. Myers pays to attend once a week. I came down to one of their venues, the Echo Centre in Liskeard, to find out more.
So our sessions are 2 hours. Most clients come once a week, some come twice. The benefits for people attending Turning the Cogs are obviously the stimulation for the brain, keeping the brain active, and regularly using skills which they may well start to lose over time. There are other benefits in that they're part of a group, so it's very social. It's a little bit of independence for them. So the rest of the week they may well be at home with husband or wife, for example, and coming out on their own to an activity is quite a nice way of maintaining their own independence and identity. The clients always get the last word, definitely. Nothing that they ever say is wrong. It's always a case of, oh, that's interesting, I hadn't thought about it that way, or we don't ever tell anyone that they've got any answers wrong.
It's been reported that 1 in 3 children will develop a form of dementia in their lifetime, so the need for awareness couldn't be more vital. But in amongst the depths of the southwest, a fight has already begun, a fight against the devastation that dementia can cause from the people that have felt the effects the most.
There's a lot of movement now. Many people who are operating, doing really good work, are doing this in a voluntary basis.
And that's something that Julie has done. Following the diagnosis of her mum, Julie and her friends formed the fundraising group Ladies Aloud.
Sainsbury's have chosen us as Charity of the Year, so we do book sales. We raise quite a bit, although we'll get the money from them at the end of the year. Since we've been doing it, I think we've 25,000. It's not all about money, it's about awareness.
This generation wants something done about dementia. It's becoming the most feared illness in people over the age of 55, this sort of hidden disease that creeps up on people. Those sort of people are the people I see in the research centre here, and they really want to do something about the disease, and so they accept there are no disease-modifying treatments, but they want to do research, they want to help us understand the illness and find new treatments. So although the research is complicated and these trials are complicated, it may lead to fairly simple solutions, which is why we have to get on and do something about it.
Yeah. So I've come down to see Julie and the Ladies Aloud team, and it's their coffee and cake morning today. I have bought cake, but it's not homemade, so let's hope it doesn't have to be.
Smile! Make a wish! Oh, actually, that's easier to cut than I thought.
Oh, well, there you go. See, glide through blood.
Oh, I don't like being responsible for this one. Very good.
We're doing coffees and tea, non-alcoholic mulled wine, lots of different cakes. Most of us have all got are close to our hearts. So. I recently cared for my father for a few years. I was his carer, and he recently passed away this year with Alzheimer's. Yeah.
I nearly did it then, didn't I?
I work in a retirement home, which is more nursing now. So you've got dementia, Parkinson's, and all that. So
for me personally, it's to get the message out there, because when we were told, because it was just me and my father and he needed me to look after him, we were just left out in limbo, and I didn't know what it meant or what it involved. It's to get people out there and to be aware of what the changes in their loved ones and what it potentially could mean, and just get the message out there and make people more aware of it.
And the money from that we raise, as Julie might have said, stays in Cornwall, Devon and Cornwall, and helps towards memory cafes and some research as well. So
it's days like today that show how events like this really do make a difference to people in the community. Are we any closer to finding a cure? We still don't know, but in the meantime, we've got fundraisers like Ladies Aloud, services like Turning the Cogs, experts that are genuinely passionate about finding a cure like Dr. Pearson, and positive influences like Mr. Myers. It's people like this that really help in giving a very real and vital voice for people affected by dementia.